In this section, we're going to attach the arms to the body. So where we left off, we had just made a round of slip stitches around the base of the head of our amigurumi. And in this first round, we're going to be working into the front loops of those slip stitches, and we're also going to be attaching the top of Barb's arms. So when we attach Barb's arms, we're gonna have to be thoughtful about where we insert the hook with respect to the arm and the head. So the reason we're doing it this way is because we want to be able to put some craft wire inside. You don't have to do the craft wire, and if you are giving this to a kid, you shouldn't do the craft wire, but it is nice to know this technique in case you are trying to make poseable amigurumi. So here we go. We're going to start by inserting our hook into the front loop only of the stitch, and we're going to single crochet twice. Then we're going to grab the first arm, and if you aren't using craft wire, you can use your arm, like the yarn tails, to stuff the arm. That should be probably sufficient stuffing for the arm. We are doing wire in this video, so I'm going to trim those yarn tails and tuck them, and then I'm going to insert the hook from the inside out of the arm. That will make it kind of like an invisible seam for the top of the arm. So the hook is inserted from the inside out through the arm first, and then I'm going to put it through the front loop only of the next stitch of the head, or neck, let's say. And then I'm going to make a single crochet. I'm going to insert it through the next stitch of the arm in the same manner, and the next front loop of the head, single crochet. The next stitch of the arm, next front loop of the head and neck, single crochet, and then one more stitch of the arm, next front loop of the head and neck, single crochet. So I've attached one half of the arm stitches to the base of the head, basically. Now I'm going to go back to working just into the head, and again, it's only in front loops. So I'm going to single crochet through the next 6 stitches, and you can tell that these arms are centered roughly on either side of the chin. We all crochet a little differently, so if you are not getting that well centered, you can add or subtract a stitch at the beginning of this round to make sure that the arms are in the right spot. Okay, so second arm. It's going to be just like the first. Insert the hook from the inside out of the second arm, and then under the front loop only of the next stitch of the head and body, and make a single crochet. And do that 3 more times. And then you're going to make 2 more single crochets into the body only. All right, so we have attached the top of both arms. And in the next round, we're going to single crochet around. Excuse me, I said that wrong. We're going to increase and then single crochet 5 and repeat that 3 times. But when we get to the stitches of the arm, of the bottom of the arm, we're going to work into the bottom of the arm rather than up the neck. And that'll make a little more sense when we get there. And that's going to leave that cavity where we can put craft wire. So let's begin. We're going to work into the full stitch this time. And like I said, we're going to start with an increase. We're going to end, basically at the end of this round, we want to have 21 stitches. So increase, single crochet, and now working only in the stitches of the arm, we're going to single crochet 4. So now we've attached the full arm. Now back to the stitches of the body, increase, and then single crochet 5 times. The next increase we're going to make just into the stitches of the arm. So first stitch that remains of the arm, we're going to increase them. And then you're going to single crochet 5 times. The first 3 of those will be into the arm only. And then the last 2 will be into the body only. So now the arms are fully attached, and like I said, there's a cavity inside each arm where you can stick craft wire. So you've prepped your arm to be articulable. Articulated? In the next round, we're going to single crochet in each stitch around, so we'll end up with 21 single crochets. At this point, if you're using wire, it's a good time to pause. First, you're going to make sure that the neck cavity is stuffed well. And then, yes, put your working yarn on a stitch holder. And then, we're going to take a minute to insert our craft wire. So to prep your craft wire, I'm going to start by cutting a piece that's a couple inches longer than I think I'm going to need. I'm using, I think it's 16th inch armature wire, which is a really soft, lovely aluminum wire that's used for things like stop motion. Great to work with. You can use something else if you want. They make all sorts of craft wires, but this stuff is really great because you can bend it repeatedly without it snapping or getting brittle. So the first thing I'm going to do is choose one end to start with, and I'm going to bend over that end pretty snugly, crimp it, I'm gonna try and eyeball the right length and do that to the other end too. And then I'm gonna use some tape to wrap the ends of my wire so nothing gets pokey. Again, this is if you're not giving this to a kid. If you're giving this to a kid, don't use the wire. If it's in your budget, gaffer's tape is amazing. It's incredibly expensive, but it's lovely to work with, and it's like a fabric-y tape that makes tasks like this great. We typically use cheap masking tape. I'm actually using gaffer's tape in this video. So you'll wrap. You don't want too much tape because then it's hard to get into the arms, but you want it to be secure. So you insert it into one arm. You'll probably have to bend your wire a little bit to get it into the other arm. Kind of finagle it in. You can see I accidentally poked my wire through, so you don't want to do that. There you go. You can add a little more stuffing below that wire if there's still space underneath it. And around it. Right, and then as a last step for this section, we're going to do the top of Barb's breast. I'm going to start with 2 single crochets. Right now we're at the back of Barb's body, just to give you an orientation check. This is the back of Barb's body. Going to do 2 single crochets and then an increase, and then 4 single crochets, and then in the next stitch we're going to make 4 half double crochets in the same stitch. This will be the top of the first breast. The 2 breasts are supposed to be centered between the arms pretty well. So if you need to add or subtract a stitch to make that alignment happen, go ahead and do that. Okay, so there's our 4 half double crochets. If you don't know how to make half double crochet, we'll link out to a video. In the next stitch, going to make a single crochet. In fact, we're going to do 5 single crochets all together. And then in the next stitch, we're going to do 4 half double crochets again. You can see I'm struggling with splitting yarn. Then we're going to do 2 single crochets, an increase, 3 single crochets, and 1 more increase. And then we're going to do a color change at the end of the second increase, but we're going to pause right here, and our next video will show the color change.